people, and I can't have one without the other. Similarly, I don't love to write, but I love having written, having told a story to someone, and not simply for their benefit. Sometimes people will tell me something I wrote made them feel less alone, and that is an extraordinary compliment, but the fact is, I feel less alone when I write and someone responds to my writing as well. That's one of the reasons I do it, even though I find it so intimidating. I used to have a lot of wise-ass answers when people asked why I still did it. Contractual obligation, the mortgage, but wise-ass won't answer in this crowd. Instead, I think of a day some years ago when, for reasons at first inexplicable, I decided that what I really needed to do was to assemble a stack of my books in hardcover for each of my children. I pulled out 3 tote bags. There are always plenty of tote bags in my house, although there is never a Phillips head screwdriver. And I filled each one with my books. The closet of each bedroom had a collected works of Anna Quindlen in their entirety. And after a few days, one of my kids said, "What's the deal with the books?" Good question. The deal with the books, when I really drilled down on my own motives, was that they were my last will and testament. In these pages, which had found, I'm happy to say, many readers, there were 3 readers that would find me when I was gone, the 3 people I care most about on earth. The fact was, they were only collections of words. The motto of the nun who founded the order that educated me as a girl, Cornelia Connolly, was actions, not words. Yes. The fallacy in that is that words are actions, as we all know very well nowadays. They can punch, tear, hurt, harm. They can also soothe, amuse, educate, and illuminate. They make people feel better, and they move them to tears, and they enrage them, and they define them. They define us. They define me. Only connect, E.M. Forster wrote in Howard's End. When I looked at those bags of books in the closet, I thought I was parceling out words, but what I was clearly trying to do was to connect my children to their mother, whether she was present or not. I was really trying to confer upon myself the immortality that every mother wishes for, the idea that she will never die because her children will keep her alive in their hearts, and in my case, in her books. I still think from time to time of all those people inside the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001, saying goodbye by phone. If only in the blizzard of paper that followed the collapse of those buildings, a letter had fallen from the sky for every family member and friend, something to hold on to, something to read and reread. Words on paper confer a kind of immortality. We should all think about that when we are putting butt in chair, even like me, if you're gripped by doubt, fear, insecurity. Or if we want to understand it in a different way, consider this sentence. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. The woman who wrote those words has been dead for more than 200 years. But Pride and Prejudice has never been out of print, although it originally came back from the publisher, if you're ever feeling downhearted, declined by return of post. And while there's little I can be absolutely sure in terms of book publishing nowadays, I can say unequivocally that 100 years from now, people will still be riveted by it. Witness my younger sister, to whom I gave the novel when she was living with me one summer while in college, and who came home one day from her job, threw the copy on the table and said, "Just tell me if she marries Mr. Darcy, because if she doesn't, I'm not finishing the book." Well, I'm not Jane Austen, and I'm no authority on any of this in a room full of people who are authorities in different ways. I'm, like many of you, one lucky woman who has been able to make a life and a life's work out of something she finds difficult and essential. Sometimes people ask about a particularly challenging situation I've written about. Was it cathartic, they say. I'm not sure writing about things makes me feel better, but it does make me feel as though they actually happened, as though they had shape and form. They become a real thing, whether fiction or nonfiction, in a world in which so much seems ephemeral and transitory. In words, on paper, they have taken on a life of their own that never ends. To write the present is to believe in the future. Life is all memory, wrote Tennessee Williams, who in The Glass Menagerie wrote one of the great memory plays. Life is all memory, except for the one present moment that goes by so quickly you hardly catch it going. The point is that writing is a net, catches memory and pins it to the board like a butterfly. Writing is a hedge against forgetting in a world in which the slate seems always on the verge of erasure. We, the people in this room, we stand for remembrance. Or maybe stand is not the right word, but in chair, sisters. Onward. Thank you very much.